300 Eddie Farm Road, Sparrowbush, New York, 12780. Information on this application can be viewed at the Town Clerk's Office, Town of Deerpark, 420 or 209 Huguenot. Hearing shall take place at 7 o'clock p.m. on the 26th day of June 2024 at the Town of Deerpark Town Hall, located at 420 Route 209, Town of Deerpark, Orange County, New York, or soon thereafter as practical. All parties wishing to be heard shall be heard at that time.
Thank you, Amanda. Have all the receipts are in order?
Yes.
No, thank you.
Okay, my name is Holly Fuller. I'm here to represent the applicant for 300 Eddie Farm. So as most of you are probably familiar with this location, this is the Eddie Farm Resort and Conference Center located down on the Delaware River at 300 Eddie Farm Road in Sparrowbush. The property has historically been used as a religious retreat and conference center. It was previously owned by the True Warrior Ministries and was bought a few years ago by the Chinese Christian Herald Crusades, and they continue to use it with the same use, religious retreat and conference center. So it has been continuously operated as that. One of their buildings, which I can go point over at the map for you in a minute, they used to use as a staff building, and it has deteriorated, and so they're converting it to just storage, and they're proposing putting up 5, I call them modular buildings, that are going to be rented out to families who come to the location. They're going to have bedrooms and bathrooms. They will not have any kitchens, just putting that out there for your information. And they'll be tied into existing services for the water and sewer systems that are already servicing the facility, because their hydraulic rates or their water usage is going to equal the same amount that was on that staff house that's being abandoned and just used for storage. They also are going to be constructed along an existing road, so no new driveways or anything are going to need to be constructed for the installation of these buildings. So I'm just going to go up there and so you can see a little bit closer up as to where these buildings are. So Eddie Farm Road comes off of 42 down here. This is Deerpark Lane, and it crosses over the tracks down here, goes down to the river, and up here is this existing road. It goes up to the maintenance building right now. They're going to put the 5 new units there. And that's just a prettier picture close up of the buildings. So that's kind of my summary of the project.
Any board comments on it?
No.
On your plan, Mr. Fuller, on the S4, the God bless you, the sanitary sewer system, is that all a common system, or does each one of those have their own sanitary disposal system?
The new units, each one will have their own septic tank, and then the septic tank is going to discharge to the main sewer line that's going to be new for those houses down, but that main sewer line for those 5 buildings is then going to tie into the existing sewer line that goes to an existing.
Okay, I was just looking at the map and I was just.
Yeah.
That's fine. John, have any questions?
Well,
You want to go over your comments?
yeah, since we did the review, the GML letter came in from
the county, so, Glenn has it, so please read it into the record. And, the only comment that I think really has any substance from an engineering perspective is regarding the 100-year floodplain, the last comment. They're recommending water-saving fixtures, of course, things of that nature, but the last comment says to make sure that the buildings are actually out of the 100-year floodplain, and I know it's like close in there, you can see the line, but I don't know what the elevation is with respect to the 100-year floodplain, so.
You mean that the first floor elevation would
Correct.
be up 18 inches above the base flood elevation,
That's correct.
right?
Yes, so is that the case, or we need to check that?
It will be the case.
It will be the case?
Yes.
Okay.
But these buildings are, going to be up on,
Is that a note we need on the,
Well,
site plan?
yes.
we can add that note, yes. It currently does not have that note.
All right, and then, the other comments, too, just asking for a survey of the, property. Normally, the board, has been asking for, at least a survey. This does not require a licensed surveyor. It's not a subject to site plan, but the board likes to have a, survey on file to verify that what they're showing on the map is accurate.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify that comment because
Yeah.
you're saying that the survey certification stamp and signature should be on the plans, but the site plan normally doesn't require
Yeah,
it
it doesn't
be on
have to be on the plan.
Right.
So we do need a survey,
Okay.
so a stamped survey, so that we know that the site plan that you're designing off the survey is accurate.
Okay,
That's
we
all.
can provide that for the,
Comment 3 is just a general note, that we do not need a full SWIP or below an acre. Couple of small details I think, should be added to the plan. I think it was 5 buildings, 4-inch gravity, all going into a 4-inch gravity, and I think, we looked at maybe doing a 6 inch is probably a little bit better because, 4-inch pipes going into a 4-inch pipe, is probably a tendency for clogging there, so.
we can change that to a 6 inch, that's fine.
Okay, a couple notes on the pump station detail, which are nothing of significance, it's standard 24-hour storage capacity, alternate operation for the pumps, there is a dual pump station design. There is a transfer of the Speedies permit for the septic system that's underway. We don't have a problem with that being a condition of approval, that the DEC basically transfers the permit to the new owner. So, we're asking for that. Comment 7, is we did get a letter from SHPO, so, Glenn can, read that into the record as well. And 8, the DEC, I think the applicant's engineer indicated that they would no tree cutting, between certain times of the year, but my understanding is that is for the Indiana bat. For the bald eagle, they actually generally wanna make sure, going out and look and make sure that there's not an actual active bald eagle's nest on the property.
So we can have our environmental,
I'm okay with that.
Consultant,
If you can get your
do a letter.
environmental guy to give us a letter that says there's no active bald eagle's nest on the
Okay.
property,
yeah,
that would suffice. And then, 9 is just noting the size of the service lines for the water main. I think the water main detail is a water main detail, it's not really a water service detail, so that's all we have.
Okay, any board comments? Glenn, you wanna?
Sure. So, as John indicated, we did receive the county review. That should be put in as part of the file. Basically, they do talk about water sense speed fixtures and make some recommendations with regard to that. That's has to do with saving water and energy. Same thing, they ask us or the applicant to look into clean energy and conservation measures. They do indicate that the manufactured home should be either outside the 100-year floodplain or elevated to be above the 100-year floodplain. So, that would be a note on the map. That could be a condition of approval. They do indicate that it's a local determination. With regard to SHPO, they acknowledged the submission of the plans They asked for certain information, photos of various sides of the main building and at least one representative exterior photo of any other buildings. And then I guess, you know, at some point SHPO will respond, so that could either be a condition of the approval or based upon the fact that this has been an operating location for decades. You could deem the submission sufficient.
Any, comments from the board?
No.
All right, so at this time, we can open the public hearing portion of the application. I see a motion to do that. Open it.
I'll second.
Greg, is all in favor?
Yes. Yes.
All right, is there any, anybody from the public, the audience, to speak on behalf of the project? No, up to the podium. You step up.
I just have a question, how big are these buildings gonna be? I mean, are you not gonna be using the hotel any longer, or, I mean, are we looking at the expansion, which is great? I mean, or,
Excuse me, can you just state your name for the record?
I'm sorry?
Just state your name for the record so we know who you are.
Marcia Ricker.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm just, go ahead.
I live on Lower Brook Road,
Okay,
and, so I'm very close, and so I walked down there the other day just to see, and, you know, cause I had heard that it was partially in a flood zone.
okay.
So, but you solved the issue of you're gonna have it built up. But are the buildings gonna be for 20 people, for one family, for 100 people?
Just, hang on one second. Hang on, just, actually, you're talking to the board.
Oh,
That-
okay.
that She can, Mrs. Fuller can respond
Okay.
if she so desires. She don't have to. She could do a written submission to your question if she deems that appropriate, but your questions are to the board here.
Okay, then I'm just curious as to how big the buildings are gonna be and, you know, how many more people are gonna be coming into the area.
Well, at this point, I would ask Mrs. Fuller, do you wanna respond or you wanna?
I can respond.
Okay.
Each unit is going to be 3 bedrooms, so it'll hold like one family of 4.
All right, and they're all gonna be like that.
Yep, all 5 of them will
Okay,
be like
that
that.
answers my question.
But they will continue to use the other buildings as well.
Okay, all right, that's great. I just
All right.
thought if it's gonna be 200 or 300 people, I was
No, we
curious.
appreciate your concern, we do, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else, want to speak on the record? Yeah. All right, with that said, I need a motion just to close the public hearing.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Craig seconds, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
And yes, that's the public hearing. So, Mr. Fuller, what, you looking for a conditional approval tonight, is that what I'm going for, Glenn, or?
That would be a good thing if you could conditionally approve the project.
So the first thing, after the public hearing is closed, first thing that you would have to do is you would have to designate yourselves lead agency.
Oh, we can do that, okay.
You'd have to classify this as
Unlisted.
an unlisted action, and then make a determination as to whether or not there's any anticipated, environmental impact that requires mitigation. If not, then that would be a negative declaration. And then once you resolve the seeker analysis, then you can move on to consider, conditional approval of the project. The various conditions would include, that the modulars be elevated, or that a note be placed on the map that requires the modulars to be elevated above the 100-foot floodplain, that the applicant provide the Speedy's transfer permit, and that they also provide an EGLE letter, from their consultant.
Alrighty then.
Mr. Chairman, I just have down that we made a motion for lead agency on 5A, but
Okay.
What's that?
They did intent.
That was
Oh,
intent.
10?
Yeah,
Okay,
so-
sorry.
Alright, so we just need to make a motion to declare ourselves lead agency.
Gotcha.
Need a motion,
I'll make a motion.
Second.
all in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Oh, yes, also. Oh. And then, what was the second one, Ron?
Second would be to declare it to be an unlisted action with no anticipated negative environmental impacts, issuing a negative declaration.
And just need that motion for what Glenn just said.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Yes.
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 Yes. All right, so there's nothing that, there's no negative impact on the environment, so we can, make a motion to declare a negative deck on that too, then.
Correct.
So we need to make a motion to, declare a negative deck on the secret,
I'll make that motion.
right?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Yes.
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 And yes. So now on to, again, Mr. Plasko's here. Conditional approval, how many items we got on there that are conditional, 6?
I don't know, 4 or 5. The conditions of approval would be a note on the map that says modulars have to be elevated above the 100-foot floodplain, that the Stevens transfer permit has to be provided, the DEC transferring it to the applicant. They need to submit an Eagle letter from their consultant indicating that there are no active eagle habitat on the site, and payment of all fees.
Just to add to that, there's a few more minor technical comments that are included in my June 23rd 2024 letter, so also conditioned upon compliance with the comments of January 23rd. Fusco Engineering letter dated January 23rd, 2024.
Wowzer.
Do they include the 6-inch?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Can I just make a comment about the eagle letter? You said no eagle nests on the site, but can we modify that to say that no eagles will be affected or impacted by this?
Because the bald eagle is still considered an endangered species, so I think most people use Torgerson. I don't know if you're gonna
Yes,
use him,
that's who we would use.
if there is an active eagle's nest on site, then we need to know about it, and so does
Right.
the DEC. If there's not, then a letter that says there's no active bald eagle's nest on site will suffice. If the answer is no and there is one, then we do need to send it to the DEC for their review.
Okay.
So, for conditional approval, we need to make a motion to include the items Mr. Plasko laid out, and the items Mr. Nozick laid out for just the conditional approval.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
And yes. All right, so, still a bit of homework to do there, Mr. Fuller, but
Yep.
I'm sure you'll get it.
You will. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You guys are good.
That's why we get paid big bucks.
I guess. All right, second on the agenda is 444 Deerpark Trailers, a pre-app. Is there somebody here representing that application?
Hi, good evening. My name is Lee Lemish. I live up on 444 Deerpark Trail. First time here, so I guess I'll just describe the situation.
Sure, tell us what you want to do, yeah?
Okay, so last December, I was considering buying a log cabin that's on wheels to put on the property. The purpose was so that my parents, who lived out in New Jersey, my sister and her baby up in Boston can come visit us on weekends here and there. The house we have now is Cape Cod, it's not so big, so we want to have a nice little accommodation.